Hey, what's up? Double, double, double. Man, I ain't seen you feel like a long time. I've been working so much. I think I miss everybody. Only person I get to watch nowadays, it seems like, is Bolo because he be on when I be at work, and that be keeping me up. Hey, bust it down, Brown. Bust it, bust it, bust it down, Brown. Community wall in the house. Have you got that community wall yet, buddy? 'Cause I can't wait to see what you got to write, so I can keep on coming back saying, put it in the book. Put it in the book. Speaking of work, I have to go in tonight. Hey, atmosphere, because I picked up an extra shift. Y'all know me. No, I'm just kidding. Now I got an extra shift because, shoot, they're paying an extra $4 an hour. I need that 20 sign. Y'all might hear me smacking because it's lunchtime. Sorry. Hey, Justice. Man, it's hot. Hey, she. That's the first time I seen that one. Oh, shoot, I got this earbud in. I'm like, why did my hearing feel funny? Mm-mm. I got to do better. I hope everybody is doing good on this great, what is it, Thursday? Thursday afternoon. I never noticed. Probably because she ain't been here in a long time. But I understand. We be in the trap. Going down. Mm. Had I known this pork chop was this big, I would have got the lunch portion. My goodness. But this is Jamaican restaurant. They have a Caribbean and a soul food. Hi, Marissa. I took people to my people, to the soul food one last night. It was so good. I eat pork. I ain't been delivered yet. Every now and then, I need a good pork chop. And guess what? Even if I stop eating pork, here's the kicker. I'm going to eat pork bacon. So I don't eat pork that much. So heck, I'm probably going to eat ribs too. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to not eating it that much because it's good. Mm-hmm. It tastes good. Listen, one time I stopped eating pork for like a year and a half. I pretty much was a vegetarian for a year and a half because we started off doing no meat. Then I went into pescatarian for a little while. And then I got tired of eating fish. So I just ate. I was vegetarian. And it's cool. But my intake of pork is so minimal. It's not something I eat very often. Like I said, every now and then I want a good pork chop, but that's not once a week for me. And then the person I'm with don't eat pork, so a lot of times when you deal with people that don't eat pork, you tend not to eat pork. But he know, like I'm telling y'all, I eat pork. I think I get tired of it if I eat it all the time. I'm sure. Like Joseph Shear used to say, you better pray over everything you usually eat. When I sat down and eat pork, he was like, you ain't no Muslim. I'm like, what? My daddy was funny. I was like, I never said that, Joe. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It was hard for me to start eating that. Well, it wasn't that hard, but the first time I had pork, after not eating it, no, what it was, my mother had cooked something and pork was in it, and I didn't know. Man, it was almost like an allergic reaction. I don't know. Yeah, I must look cute today because all of me is holding the door open for me like, hey, how you doing? Hey, young lady, good afternoon. Looking like, hi. But I know that, but my parents, just like when I said back in the day, I was like, I gotta pay my tithes, and my mom was like, how much is that? I'm like, what? I'm like, 10%. They don't know how much you made. I'm like, oh Lord. That's neither here nor there. um, who can tell? Oh, probably because I don't know. What do I saw? I got the car today. Hi, how you doing, man? I got on a hat, some joggers, and a t-shirt. I feel like I'm going through another transformation. Honestly, like I'm going into a different space, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's because of relationship or if it's just part of my journey. Hey, DJ, go DJ. That's my DJ. Go DJ. That's how it sounds when I be typing it. Hey, go DJ. That's my DJ. It's that walking the glow. I don't know. It might be these pants because the walk be walking. Boom bop boom bop. Anywho, I do feel like I'm in a transition, another transition. Although I'm still in the process of my transition for the move, I think I'm in a personal transition, and that's kind of what brought me to come live today. That's what I was really thinking about. Like, man, I mean, I feel a change, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but I know it's something that I have to do. I haven't come into the full understanding or knowledge of what it is in its totality, but I know that there is something I have to do. So I started thinking, shut up, atmosphere. I always felt myself, if I don't feel me, who else will? It's like, yeah, we all have a purpose and all those things, but I mean, on our journey, there is absolutely something we're supposed to do for a reason, for God's purpose. But then there's also those things that we get in our spirit that I feel like I should be doing this. And sometimes we don't do this because we don't understand why we want to do this. I would say that a lot of times it's connected to that purpose and plan for your life. But because it's not something we may have necessarily thought of doing, we just have this inkling to do it. We dismiss it and brush it off. So I think that's the what is it part. That's that nudge, you know what I'm saying? We get that nudge to do something, and a lot of times we ignore the nudge because it does not make sense. And I was just listening to this video, and honestly, this is the first time I ever heard somebody, because how I was telling y'all the other day, people always want to know, how do you hear God's voice? How do you know when God's speaking to you? I know for myself, I don't know. I know I hear, but in order to explain that to somebody, the best way I was always able to explain it, per my experience, was if the Holy Spirit is telling you something that you would not say and is not leading you away from God, then you know that's God speaking to you. That's the way I you know, that's the conclusion I came to for myself. And I literally heard a girl explain that on this video. She like, if it's something telling you to do something that you wouldn't say, that's probably it. As long as it's not putting you in a bad direction. Now, if you're hearing something you wouldn't say, but it's leading you straight to hell, we already know. I gave my disclaimer that you might hear me eating a little bit. You wasn't here yet. Because they used to this. I be trying to do a lot in a little time. And the sad part about it is I ain't even hardly eating. Even my chew is magnified and glorified. I'm about to take a break because I don't want to be sound like a cow on live. Now that I have tasted the food. But yeah, you know, that's what I came to talk about today. What are the things that we sitting on and not moving on? What are the things that you know you should have been doing, but you have not started doing? Or you started doing and you stopped? We want to talk about those things. I don't know what your thing is, but I'm pretty sure we all have something that we know we should have done already, or should be in the process of doing, or absolutely moving in this moment. What do you think it is that keeps us from moving in that aspect of purpose? You know, we all sit here and want to know, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? But then when it's something that we're supposed to be doing and we don't do it, what's the use in asking what's your purpose if you're not going to do those things that come into your heart? Those things that probably are directly connected to the purpose you serve. It might not make sense. Like, okay, let's use me for an example. I'm walking up. Let's say I see hey Pat, I see a building, and something says you're gonna put a shop there. That don't make sense to me. However, I ignore it. Now I'm going about my merry way. 2 months later, the whole thing is still there. So you come back to that place and you see that building is still available, and you're like, there's no way. I'm not opening no shop. I did that already. I ain't doing no more. But the whole time, if I don't, by me not doing it, what if that was connected to a large group of people that I was called to in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion coming through? What if that was the actual avenue that they would take to get to me for whatever it is that they had need of, or that I was supposed to administer to them per God? See what I'm saying? And self-esteem does matter. I guess self-esteem, confidence, yeah. Because if we're not confident in the things that we're doing, especially when it's something that doesn't quite seem like, what if it was an afterthought? You're like, nah, that's wishful thinking. You know, what are those things we put off as wishful thinkings, and we don't do it? It's absolutely doubt. And that's just a made up story, Gary. I'm not doubting. That's just an example of something we could be doing that is holding up the process of serving our purpose. You know, so it's like when you get that little thing in you, that little nudge, as I put in the title, what is it? You know what I'm saying? It's not, I don't think we should ignore the nudge. Not right now, anyway. I think we all been ignoring the nudge for a long time. Whether it's for business, your call, far as, you know, your calling, any of that. I think that a lot of people lack. The reason why I don't like to say lack faith is like um Pat, that's PM Grooming. That's like one of my spiritual advisors now. But we've had conversations similar to this, and the one thing that always stood out was when I talked about I feel like my faith is, you know, I'm low in faith. It was like, it might not be that you're low in faith, it may be that you have unbelief. Those two things can be at the same time. You can have faith but also have unbelief. So it's like a lot of time we're asking for strengthening in our faith when it's actually we need to be delivered from unbelief. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir. I think I learned a little something. But it's like, how long, as adults now, how long do we operate in doubt, or how long do we, when do we get it? I'm not saying we all will, but if you be honest with yourself, what are we afraid of? Success? We can't be afraid of failing, because if we already ain't got it and ain't doing it, then it's going to be the same on the other side. It didn't work. But what if, something that even, okay, let's say Atmosphere, you supposed to open a restaurant. Yeah, everybody gonna love Atmosphere food, but what if you opening that restaurant was a door for an opportunity for a chain of restaurants? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always feel like Atmosphere, the reason why I believe it's different, they're similar, but I believe it's different, is because I've never lost faith in God. But I still would have that little thing that is, I guess, is an aspect of fear. Unbelief will be an aspect of fear to me. And fear is one thing we know is the opposite of faith. So it can't be the same. It's something that, as Pat said, it cripples us, it paralyzes us, it won't allow you to move, because you're either scared, or you're or you just don't believe. I have all the faith in God in the world and still will believe that maybe this ain't right. Does that change my faith in God? Exactly. So therefore I can have a level of unbelief, and my faith is not wavering in God. All my faith goes into God, so I got to believe in myself. Way I look at it. But you know how we do it over here, tomato, tomato. That may be your perspective. It doesn't mean it's really different. It just means that we've come about to the same conclusion, the way our mind goes about it. Atmosphere gonna get his live going, because you can't see, you may not believe. And that's definitely what faith is about, is believing in something you can't see. So I believe it's super close. But I don't think that having unbelief means you don't have faith. But not having faith means you unbelieve. You don't believe. If it can work like that, that makes more sense to me than anything. That makes more sense to me than anything. The two don't work. Atmosphere, faith in itself. God, you can't serve two masters. Ooh, that kind of go with the other day when I was talking about what have we made an idol? Could we have made me an idol? Yourself. I think it's just so easy. Like I said, I think I'm in a transition now where it's like, okay, I must be coming to the conclusion of something. For the simple fact, I don't feel like I would be feeling like I'm about to move into what's next. So I know there's steps and levels to everything that I'm doing right now. It's just that right now I'm not quite sure what the next is, but I can tell you it's a pull from God. I can't tell you that part. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. And that's why I'm like, it's that nudge. I don't know what you're nudging me to in this moment. And it might be something that I already know about, but it just ain't, it ain't came to prayer. Me too, Gary. Me too. Man, this chicken busted. Mm-mm. I should have got like 5, 6 of these. Yes, I'm eating chicken and pork chop. Like I said, my whole purpose today was just to talk. I don't know, sometimes people be scared to do certain things because they don't know how it's going to end up. Even when it's a strong urge or desire to do it, a lot of us won't. Me being a person that's trying to, in a way, kind of tame down that jump out the window and think later aspect of myself, I think my thought process is a lot better. Normally, I think a thing, do a thing, then I think, how do I do all of this after I done did it? I know that this is not that season. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that I do from this point on, at my age, needs to be, number one, stewarded well, and number two, done with thought versus done then thought. I've always said that's a blessing and a curse because it doesn't allow me to be afraid to do anything. But I don't know. I think sometimes we should be a little scared, a little nervous. That'll make us think through things more, make us write the vision and make it plain more instead of jumping on the vision and then start writing. That's me all the way. I think if I went to college, I've been changing my dang on uh major every 3 months. Ooh, it feels like I want to be this today. Mhm. I have confidence in myself. I know that when I do things, it's gonna be good if I'm supposed to do it. But I think that also we have to be prepared for what we thought a thing was gonna be and what God has designed it to be. His design might not be ours, or we might have got that thing from him, but not understood fully. I ain't gonna say not understood, but because we look it through our carnal eye, we don't see it exactly the way he sees it. So, like how I said, when I got here, hey, realists, I thought that I just thought it was gonna be different, and that's not saying it's going bad. It just didn't go with my plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, but now I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. Wait a minute. Why the phone ring so much? Don't nobody call me when I'm not on live. But although it don't look like what I thought it was gonna look like, because my vision is not, it's way different, I'm sure, than God's. So I think that's part of my transition as well. It's like, okay, you're here, you're doing this. Now I'm about to show you what's next. And I think that's the nudge I'm feeling. I'm about to come into the knowledge of what's next. So it's like, what do I need to do to prepare? Number one is gonna be trust God. If I'm sitting here telling you that I know I'm about to come into something that I need to do next, then when it happens, there should not be a bone in my body that goes against that. Because I'm getting that nudge. I'm getting that little check that says you about to have to do something. Whatever that something may be. I think that if you have God in your heart, huh? Well, couldn't faith in yourself also be faith in God? It's all kinds of, I mean, I agree with everything y'all saying. I'm just saying there's so many different ways to view that is not, it's just not wrong to me. You know, whatever's gonna get you from A, B to C, let's get there with God involved. Don't put yourself before God. Don't put anything or anyone before God. That's when the problem comes. No, I think we should have faith in all our gifts and talents. That's what actually makes room for us to do the things that He wants for us to do. You know, I have a gift of many things. I'm very talented at doing hair. So when I'm doing that, that's a whole avenue, a way for me to speak life into many women, to give encouragement, to love on some people that might not get it otherwise. But that's the type of stylist I'm willing to be. Everybody don't look at their platform the same, but I do, you know, just by way of experience, you know, the conversations you have. And it was always weird for me before I realized that, before I understood that. But it was like I always had something to say that always helped. So though I didn't understand that part of my gift, I fully get it now, you know. Like how they say, you know, if someone's called to be a minister or to preach, that don't necessarily mean you're gonna go in church and do those things. It could very well mean that you sell cars and that's where you're gonna get your ministry on. Stir up the gift. You have to build up the gift. And how do you do that? By faith. It's not enough to just. I agree with you, and you know, in that aspect. And it's funny to me because so many people use that word. Oh, my spirit was stirred, and I think people just say it because they hear it. When your spirit really stirred, it puts a different kind of fire on you. It ain't just something you just gonna sit there and say and be like, "Woo, my spirit was stirred. That stirred me up." I feel like the same with your gifts. When it's something that happens with the things that you do, it gives you this feeling, and it also, that's what I think, that's what catapults you. When you are genuinely stirred in that gift, it gives you the momentum to move and operate in that gift. So I do understand and agree with that, Karen. But it's still always gonna come by faith. How do you get stirred about anything? I guess it's just the same way. You get you get stirred and you see. Oh, Father. You get stirred in faith by feeding it with the word of God. So the same thing with our gifts. We get stirred by feeding it. Yes, with the word of God, but also by doing it. I don't know what that was about, but it was not trying to come out. A lot of times we look to other people to stir up those things. And I mean, it's cool to have your little cheerleading corner, but at the end of the day, God needs to be that first one we go to get that okay. Because without him, it just don't matter if your aunts and uncles believe in you and go ahead and do it. It's still gonna be instruction from him. Now, if they carrying some instruction, so here I am, like, what is it? Probably I'm supposed to just ask him, what am I supposed to do? Maybe that's what he's waiting for, you know? I think we forget that part too. And look how you're taking your time with what you do in atmosphere. We could all sit here. That's a perfect example. We sit here and be like, hurry up and get that page going. Get it. Come on, come on. And you keep saying, it takes time. I'm doing this. And, you recognize your gift and you're going to make sure that your presentation is A1, at least to your liking. It might be already A1 to us, but it ain't our gift that we have to present. Like I told y'all, well, I don't know if I told y'all. One thing I do know, I'm not going to be able to work where I work at, far as the salon. Why? Because I'm a different caliber of stylist. And I had to be okay with telling myself that and not feeling like I was being some cocky butthole. I'm not cocky. I know my value as a stylist, and I have too many years in to sit amongst people who are great people. I really like them. But we're not in the same ball game. That's one thing I do know. We're not in the same ball game. My price points don't match the shop, the area, the mindset. But there's still something about that opportunity that was needed to happen. I still had to go through there probably to get to this understanding. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody rush you through. You were sitting you were giving whole presentations in the chat, man. Cut it out. He been slamming it ever since, huh? Atmosphere. Over in everybody's chat talking about atmosphere. This will be the year that you have such and such. Watermelon. No more delays. Da, 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 da. Realist, this is the year of patience. I'm going down. But I definitely recognize those things because I don't have that urgency, that fire to get there. Yes, I do have some things that I have to work out far as when I get my stability in my own place. That makes everything better. But when I do that, that's not where I'm supposed to be. That's not where I'm supposed to be. The woman I'm to serve isn't going to come there. Not saying I can't make that money there, but here's the problem. They've been there. I haven't. Say if a woman that comes there comes one day and I'm available to do her here. And I say my price, she's gonna look at me like I'm crazy if I charge dang on there 3 times more than them. So there comes that case where you're either gonna dumb down or you're gonna move around. I'm moving around. I can't dumb down. I feel kind of bad, but it is what it is. I didn't move here to be Nah, if I stay there, I'll grow stagnant. And that's just not a place that I'm going. I don't want to visit there no more. So I will take my time getting into the shop that I need. But it won't be that. And I guess that's the reason why I work at Amazon. Remember I said the other day, I'm like, I know it's a reason I'm there. Yeah, because I ain't gonna have no money if I don't work there. It's okay though. If I feel like, why is this lady out here, y'all, with a mask on? Like a Mardi Gras mask. She was in the restaurant like, you want to help the homeless? Very interesting. But yeah, man. Hey, Uncle L, how you doing? Pardon me eating chicken if you hear it. Everybody laugh at me. So it's like, if I could pose a question to everybody that's hearing this live, that's on here now and that will hear it. What is it? What's that nudge that you're supposed to be moving on and you haven't yet? Ask yourself that question. And when you get the answer, move on it. This message today was simply to give you that nudge to move on that nudge. I had some chicken wings too, Atmosphere. Because when I try new places, I like to just see how their food tastes. Nobody still ain't beat my Peach Cobbler Cafe in Atlanta, but this place is pretty good. Their prices are good. Shoot, the other soul food restaurant we went to, we spent like $135. It was worth it, but hey, this place just as good. Spent about $45. You got to keep up, Atmosphere. Oh my God, you're crazy. But yeah, what's that nudge? It's encouragement for you to start doing those things that you've been scared to do. You didn't know if you should do. Start the research. If that's the place you in with it, start the research. Learn what it is you need to do. It's time to revisit that thing that just keeps coming back every 3 to 6 months. The thing you thought was just a passing thought. What if it's not? To go where? But yeah, start to pay attention to those things. By this time next year, we all could have some kind of something that we done built up real nice, and you can think back to this day. You know what, Meek? I did have a little unbelief, but guess what? I stepped out on faith because of you, and now look, 6 figures plus. So we know 6 figures is little over here, but that's a good start. It's a pretty good start. What napkin is that? So although Atmosphere is making us wait for 5 years, we're excited for whenever whatever it is comes, so that we can all be a part and support. Oh, it's big, but I just want us to aim higher. Why we always hear people saying I want to be 6 figures? There's other figures besides six, you know. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna be happy as heck when I do my 6 figures over this year. But I'm saying, let's get out of that space of always saying, I'm trying to be a 6 figure nigga. We can be 8 figures, you know? What you do? You ain't do nothing. I just said we're excited for whatever it is whenever you're ready to present. You work well right now, little grasshopper, little lettuce wrap. You work hard right now, so when it comes out, we like, yes, Atmosphere has done it. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Gary, you might have to go on and start that manuscript. I mean transcript. Is that what it is? Yeah, transcript. Because I don't know if you're supposed to be waiting on the community wall. Sounds like you got something to say that you need to put pen to paper about. So therefore, community wall where? What if God don't give you the community wall because he waiting on you to start on paper? And I'm not saying you haven't started, but if you have it, here's your nudge. Get started. Write the book. You got about 3 in you in the next 2 years. So why you playing? Absolutely do. I think that for everything that we all desire or want, you know, we all have that lifestyle we want. We all have that dollar amount we want. Are we going to spend time wanting it, or are we going to spend time doing the work to get it? Let him. Yep. I ain't even going to say it. Hey, some of them things, they just go. You know what I'm saying? Some of them things just work. But I definitely want to see us not be in a place of not moving on the things that we talk about. You know, the things that we get excited about talking about. You know, as excited as you was about that community wall, Gary, is excited those books. Simple as that. I don't know what Uncle L do, but do it. It's a microphone. What you do, Uncle L? I never dug in your business. No, I'm just kidding. If you still here. Dang, where Watermelon at? I ain't seen her in a while. I miss her. I just don't understand. Very easy to be complacent. That's why I'm trying to encourage us not to fall into a complacent state. Don't get comfortable. We miss a lot in comfort. We think that sitting back with our feet up, that's the life. But on the other side of that, there's missed opportunities. There's things that you could have been doing that you didn't do because you were just comfortable in that moment. When you get tired of that comfortable place, what are you gonna do? We got to be one step ahead of being complacent, because that's an easy place to fall into. I was very complacent in South Carolina, and in the end, I ended up moving. But here's the thing: my complacency didn't come at the end. My complacency came in the beginning. I was in Charleston for 15 years, I was so complacent during the first 8 to 10 years that I didn't even realize it. I realize it now because of the way it all went down in the last 5 years. I was way too complacent. I was way too comfortable. I stopped doing the things I used to do to be on top. Although when someone mentioned my name, they would say she cut the best in Charleston. I still wasn't out there like that. They knew it, but they wasn't coming. I got too comfortable because of that. Was I cocky? No. I never bragged. I never talked about the accomplishments I made in the industry. I never did any of that. That was a problem for me too because I should have been doing that. Why did I work my butt off not to talk about the things I've done? Those things open doors, but because I feel like I guess I mistook that as being humble. There's nothing wrong with saying what you've done. There's nothing wrong with tooting your own horn. Just don't be cocky and arrogant about it. But that felt cocky and arrogant to me to say that I've worked on platforms with multiple styling groups, that I've taught classes. It's like, why wouldn't I say that? But that's the way the enemy do your brain. He'll keep telling you to stay humble. Don't tell no, don't, you don't want to brag. And I missed it. You know what I'm saying? I missed it. So complacency costs. It really does. And I'm sitting here in this parking lot and I keep on looking at this dang on Salon Suites and ain't nobody in there. I'm like, does this place even open? I just got a feeling. I took the number down, so don't ask. If ain't nobody in there and it's still open, and I'm looking at all these people going to this soul food restaurant right here, and this Boyle Bay Seafood City, and this nail shop over here, and a Dollar General, that might be a money spot. This might be a money spot. But that's what I'm saying. Pay attention to everything that's pointed out to you, that's highlighted to you, because those things that are highlighted are usually those little pushes you need to get to the next space. That's what I believe. It might not be this salon suite. It just might be that thing that gets my mindset out of wherever it may be. I think my mind is always in takeover mode for some reason. It's not necessary. It's like, yeah, I want coworkers, but I'm still in takeover mode. So to get in a position to be with people that are not in takeover mode, it's like crippling to me. To hear somebody say I charge $35 for something that should be 75 and up is crippling to me. I understand that. And I still allow that thought process. Even when I talked about it, I would talk about it as like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I did platform work. Yeah. I brushed it off. I crapped on my hard work. That's what I did myself. All because I didn't want to seem arrogant. When I did it for that reason, to tell somebody about it. One of that being on a platform was a way that a lot of people got to me that follow me on social media. I can find her at this show if I look for this team. So it's like it all played a part. So I know the importance of it, but like I said, I don't know why I downplayed it. I just never really wanted to talk about it. It's probably the same reason why I fought doing hair, because my mother and father did it. I didn't want to do though. It's weird. That's all. Just weirdness. I operated in weirdness. I did. It's okay. Because guess what? I'm going to stop right now. Next time I walk up in somebody's shop, oh, they're going to hear about this. I got 30 years under my belt Not to sit there and not talk about it. Yeah. And then there's the other side to that coin. Do I want to do hair? I've had that thought. Whatever the case it is, I know what I ain't gonna do where. It won't be in this particular salon that I'm in because I'm not gonna grow. And a lot of times I've been in places where I didn't necessarily grow. So therefore I see it. I know better. Not about to walk back down that road, knowing good and well what's gonna be the end game. Like I said, great people, but I can't put myself in mindsets that are um I would say less than mine. Oh, we only charge this much because it's a lot of competition around here, and this place ain't as new as the rest of them. My mind says, well, upgrade, but I can't make someone else see that they need to do that. If you really feel like you can't charge because you're not as extravagant as the next shop, sounds like you need improvements. But I don't feel like it's the upgrades. I feel it's because you're not charging. That's a broken mentality to feel like I'm doing the same thing they're doing, but because my shop is a little older than theirs, I can't charge for the same thing they're doing. I can't charge the same price. Oh, you weren't here when I was telling you that you might not need a community wall. You might just need to start writing that book. What if this is your nudge? Or finish it, write it, whatever you're doing in the process of your book. Because I know you got three. I'm telling you, three good ones. That was good atmosphere. It's easy to be complacent. This is not the time to be complacent. We got a whole lot to do without a whole lot of time. I believe when we start doing things, then God speed up the process where He needs it to be. But if we don't start, we don't never get that little push to do, to get to where we're going or where we need to be, where He needs us to be. We got to stop holding the wall and start doing the things that we set out to do, doing the things that we think we can't do, doing the things we keep putting off doing. I think that is a bad, bad thing with a lot of us. I'm gonna start next week. I'm gonna start next month. Next thing you know, it's 10 years later. Man, it's too late. I can't do that now. I should have did it. That's how we get to those places. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Do it. Stop going down that road. Send it to me. We'll post it on my community. Nah, never, man. Because I told you, if it's over 2 paragraphs, I ain't reading it. When I see that dang old community wall, and it'll be like a first chapter of a book. No way, Jose. I'm not reading that. Read the beginning, middle, and the end. And be like, what the heck? What in the world is you saying, sis? I promise you, I don't be on YouTube that much anymore. I don't be on nothing that much. I'm post a picture on Facebook today, like, hey, y'all, I'm still here. But when I be on YouTube, I be feeling like this is an alternative world, and I can't stay here because I don't want to get stuck. I know you don't have one, but I'm saying, why are you waiting on the community wall when you can put it in a book? You got so much to say. So much to say. Limited to 500 atmosphere. I get tired at that 605 mark. I mean that 505 mark. She can't say it in 500 characters. We don't care. No, I'm just kidding. I am playing for real. You ever been typing something and it get to the negative characters? You be like, oh man, you be trying to go back in and figure out what can you take out, what can you put in to make it fit. Oh Lord, and make it fit and still make sense. Mm-mm. That is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Man, can y'all believe they didn't have no half shifts this week? So it's like normally I work 7 to 12 on Thursday and then 7 to 12 on Friday, or 12 to 5:30. 12:30 to 5:30, whichever one they had available. But I guess because they had that incentive, maybe it's because of the Valentine's coming up, because we have mandatory hour overtime all next week. And then they offered the extra $4 for picking up shifts. So I was like, that's great, because I'll pick up this shift. That's gonna be almost the overtime amount. And then by either tonight later or by Saturday, my whole Saturday should be overtime pay. I think that's the thing. But I have to go my regular shift tonight, the 7 to 5:30. So that's gonna be interesting to see how I adjusted going on a night where I normally wouldn't go. But it's all gonna work together for the good. Cause I love the Lord. It probably happened to me a lot too, atmosphere, because you be having something good to say and you be like, dang. You be wondering why it stopped and you look down and be like -14. That's always my thing with advertising. That's how I got good with like making posts that weren't too long and but say everything you need to say in small words. Yep, just like that. Oh man, what is on my pants? I'm going to work tonight. I need a nap today. Yes, I do. Well, I slept so good last night. Got full and just was knocked out. Oh, hello, hour. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, y'all probably noticed I came to the end of my words about 15 minutes ago. I just been chopping it up with you guys for a little longer. I'm trying to be a little more on here, a little more, but y'all know my problem. Well, it's not a problem, but y'all know my situation. Soon and very soon, I'll be back to how I was. My morning, early afternoon, crunk, walking around with my computer on my shoulder like I used to be in my other apartment. I used to feel like radio, but not quite like radio. What's the man in the what's his name? Spike Lee joint. Have his boombox on his shoulder. Yeah, I used to be like that with my laptop when I was doing my lives. All hype. Now I gotta do it in the car. But it's all good. Yes, everything will be back to a normal schedule. And I'm excited. Probably be about a month. I'm gonna be in a place before a month. Yeah, it was radio. But see, I was watching radio the other day, so I wanted to clarify I wasn't talking about that radio. And I think he shouldn't have played that part because it seemed like he ain't had much luck acting after that. I don't care if it was a true story. He should play that. But yeah, I give it about a month, to get in my place and get adjusted and all that stuff. Cause I still have to go back to South Carolina and get my furniture. If I can catch gas, and usually when it be gas, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm usually tired and knocked out somewhere by the time. That be my thing. I'll be waking up out my sleep seeing people. Like when you see me pop up, more than likely I just woke up out my sleep and hit the play to see what was going on. Yeah, end of the month, no later than the middle of next. Everything all good in the hood. Sometimes things come up, you know what I mean, and you have to work through them. And that was my thing. I had unexpected things that happened that I had to take care of, and they're taken care of. Thank God. So now it's just a matter of going through the process of getting everything done. I'll be living. Right now, I'm moving though. I'm just going. I'm doing what I gotta do. I want to live a little beyond going to eat because I'm gonna get fat. I don't eat that much though. I'm a very portion control person. People laugh at me because I don't eat a lot. Like when we go out to eat and I eat, they're like, "Dang, I finished my plate already." I'm like, I just don't eat a lot. Like I'm a person that always has something to take home and eat later or the next day. But that comes by way of doing Weight Watchers. Taught me portion control very well. So I don't overeat. So sometimes it seems like I eat a lot because I'm always talking about food. I like food. Okay. I like to try new places. That's one thing I love about Virginia. Like versus like South Carolina to me, well Charleston to me had like how everybody be like, oh you gotta go to New Orleans, the food. I always felt like it was overrated in New Orleans, but Charleston was a better place as far as food than New Orleans. That was to me. And then like you would get people opening up businesses. They didn't stand or they wasn't up to par. When I say people, I mean our people. So here, there's a lot of black-owned restaurants that are doing amazing, and they have good food. They have good service, and I think that is such a refreshing thing. That's one thing I've noticed around here. It's very refreshing to see our people standing on business, having a good professional atmosphere. Everything just great. Let them come in our establishments and be in awe because they didn't know we could do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's with everything, not just restaurants. If you are an entrepreneur, do it with excellence so that when others shop, they're like amazed. And they start sending all their people because them the one ain't gonna be like, how much you'll charge me for this? You got any deals? That's all I'm saying. Well, having said all that, I hope that today our conversation maybe sparked something in you that gave you that extra little oomph to want to get up and get it done and do something, start something. Hope it encouraged you in some kind of way, gave you some hope, uh, a reminder of things that you thought were dead. They're not dead, they're just lying dormant, waiting for you to pick them up. So if something here helped you today, 100%, I am so grateful. If it didn't help you, maybe you know someone else that needs the help and it would help them share. Sharing is caring. That's what we say over here. Sharing is caring. As always, feel free to hit the Cash App, but most importantly, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that. Everybody on the replay, hey, hey, I'm just kidding. What up? Hope to see y'all next time. And yeah, you love cooking and drinking. Drinking is fun. I had a rum drink last night at the restaurant. It was really good. Yeah, that was cool. And that's one thing too, atmosphere. I'm getting it. That's why I'm like, you got to do this, man. You got to get to the restaurant because, man, you do the drinks too. They like everything I noticed about them. They all have a special drink menu, like nice, nice drinks. They look good, taste good, and most of them make you feel real good. But yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. But anywho, until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye bye now.